Good morning, good morning. I am here. I hope you will be here soon. I'm ready to do my Tuesday tutorial with you. I have something really fun planned. We actually are going to be doing no stamping today. None whatsoever, which is crazy, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be super cute. Okay, I need my laptop. I think it might have died. So I just need my laptop to get on for a minute. And in the meantime, I'm gonna clear my workspace. And hopefully a few of you can jump in, join, and we can get going. Move these guys out of the way. Move so much stuff out of the way. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave these here. Desiree? Yeah, thank you. Okay, hold on. Laptop's not coming to life and I don't really know why. So we might just have to jump in and do this. Okay, so like I said, today I'm not going to be doing any stamping. We are going to be doing a paper piecing technique. So I have, this is Calypso Coral and Crushed Curry, and I have cut these at 4 inches by 1/2 inch. So these are just little 1/2 inch strips. And to be completely honest, these are actually scraps just left over from other projects and things that I've done. I've just had leftover bits and I just cut them down to this size. So this is a really good way to maximize your use of your paper so that you get the absolute most out of it when you're crafting and stamping and doing things. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do a little paper piecing background. So I have here Whisper White cardstock. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and like I said earlier, these strips are 4. So I'm just going to take my adhesive and get it started. I'm going to run some adhesive closest to the top as I can, closest to the bottom, down the middle, and then down the middle of that. And I'm gonna be super crazy and I'm gonna run even more. That way the entire piece is covered in adhesive, because we are gonna cut it down and we don't want any of our little strips to kind of get away from us. So, and then I just did a little bit down this side because there was a spot missing there. So I've got this sheet completely sticky, and I'm gonna go ahead and line it up here on my grid just a little bit, because I'm gonna use my grid to help me lay down my first piece. And then from there, we're just gonna use that first piece to guide us laying down the rest of them. So it's really important to me that I get this first piece right. So I just lined it up on my grid here, and I'm gonna go in just one square. I'm gonna line it up, and these line up perfect in width. So I'm just going like so. And it hangs off a little bit, but that's okay, because we're gonna cut it off. And I actually like it hanging off because this piece is cut at 5 1/4. So if we laid 1/2 inch pieces all the way across, our last piece would be really just a little 1/4 sliver. And I didn't like that didn't look symmetrical to me. Like, it looked like it should have been cut off on both sides. So, okay, and then I'm just using that first piece to guide where I lay the rest of these pieces. And I'm trying to be conscious of this top the most. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I do want to kind of line them up as best as I can throughout the whole sheet. So I'm just gonna keep laying pieces all the way across. I keep getting stuck because I keep laying my hand down over there. Okay. paper piecing can be really tedious and time consuming, but which is usually not my style of crafting or doing things, because I have, you guys know I have 4 kids running around and other things going on, and so just focusing to do something so time consuming isn't usually something I'm able to do. But I actually find paper piecing to be really relaxing. I don't know, there's something just really satisfying about laying each piece down and watching it come together. Oh my gosh, this adhesive is so unforgiving. Okay, hold on. It's too far from the other side. Okay, and then I think we're almost to the edge here. Okay. Perfect. So it looks like I have some extra pieces here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw those away. All right, perfect. Let me get my paper trimmer and then we'll trim this down. Okay. So I have my paper trimmer and I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down. So what do I want? I want it to be 5 1/4, so right there-ish. Right. It's gonna be over a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm just measuring it out, 5 1/4, and I'm gonna trim off. There's a little bit of excess on this side as well, so I'm just gonna go ahead and trim that off. Okay, so there we go. We've got that paper pieced background. So now I'm gonna do 1 1/2 to 1/2. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut this. There's like a little bit of white showing here, so I'm just gonna trim it a little bit. I don't want that white to show. I want it to look like really cohesive and whatnot. I love our paper trimmer because it's cutting through both these pieces of cardstock really easily. I'm not having to apply any pressure or do anything super crazy. Okay, and then I want to make sure that I do this right. So I'm taking a little piece of Whisper White and I'm gonna butt it up here at the bottom because I want it to measure 4 inches, but this part will not measure 4 inches. I hope that makes sense. So I'm butting this up, it is at 4 inches, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and trim it off right there. Oops, look, right after I said how well it was doing, it like goes and corrects me, right? Isn't that the way it works? Okay, so we've got that, and then I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna trim it one more time. I'm gonna trim it this way, and I'm just gonna do a little 1/2 inch strip. So I'm just measuring, using this guide right here as the line, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this. Okay, so now we've got a 2 1/2 inch strip and a 1/2 inch strip here. Oh, I got stuck. Okay, perfect. So I'm done with the paper trimmer, and I'm gonna push all of that aside because we don't need any of that. That's all needs to be gone. Okay, so I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock here, and I'm going to take my little 1/2 inch strip and run some adhesive on the back of this guy. And line it up here on the bottom. Make sure I get him straight. Want it to be right on that edge right there. Perfect. And I just realized I didn't cut myself enough Whisper White. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We can do it another way. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, so now I have crumb cake cardstock. I'm going to take this cardstock and I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. This will be our card base. So I'm just lining up the corners here. Grab my bone folder, make sure I get a good clean fold. Take some adhesive on the back of this guy. Right there. And, I'm trying to put stuff away and I'm being messy and clumsy about it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and center this up on the inside using my corners to guide me, like so. Ta-da! Okay, so that's the inside, and then on the outside, we're gonna do a fun little, so we're gonna pretend that this is one solid piece. You know what, we're not gonna pretend that's one solid piece. I can't, because I just know that if I do it that way, I'm not gonna get it straight. It's gonna come out just a little bit off, and it's gonna bother me. So we are going to move all this aside, bring our paper trimmer back. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this at 4 inches. And then I'm gonna turn it and cut it at 5 1/4. Okay, and then we're gonna use this as our guide, and it's all gonna work so much better for us than just trying to eyeball it, because I know it would, I just know it would come out wrong or crooked, I guess, and that would just really, really, really bother me. I do have some, I mean, I know I always say like it's okay because it's handmade, and it really is okay. I just, you know, I have some tendency to try to be perfect, so. Okay, so I'm just taking this Night of Navy and I'm lining it up right on the bottom of this Whisper White that we cut. I'm just trying to get it perfect on there. Okay, adhesing that, and then I'm turning this around. Gonna put some adhesive on this guy. And I'm gonna put him right up on that blue. Just like that. Okay, perfect. Ta-da! Okay, now I'm going to take this linen thread. We're gonna open this up and we're just gonna wrap some thread around the... Okay, so there's 2 ways you can do this threading thing. I like to do it with Scotch tape, but you could take some adhesive and just run adhesive on the back and let the thread stick to your adhesive. This is the way I do it, and this is what works for me. Okay, so I'm just gonna find the end of this thread. I'm gonna put it, and I want it to be on this top portion, but I don't necessarily want it to be, you know, centered and straight or perfect, because we're gonna tie it off to make it imperfect. So, okay, I'm just taping that down, and then I'm just gonna wrap it. But I don't want it to cross there. So you guys will see what I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. So I'm just spacing these out, and it's okay if they come like so. I'm just gonna go with that. Okay. Sticking this on the back, taking my snips, snipping it off. All right, and we've got that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take just another little piece of the thread, and I'm gonna put it right under, and I'm just gonna tie a big old knot. Like that. And because I wanna make sure it's super secure, I'm gonna tie it twice, and I'm just gonna snip it off so it's not looking soupy long. Okay, there we go. That's what we've got. So now I'm going to take some adhesive on the back of this. You see how it looks? Say hi. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm just running adhesive. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Good job saying hi. Okay.
I got one, you know, for some reason.
Probably because you're eating those spicy chips.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just taking this and I'm gonna center it right on the front of the card here, like that.
I mean, it don't look bad. It looked kind of good, but also, I mean, like you could have done like a wrote something like that.
You know what? I am gonna kind of write something right there. It's gonna be magical. But before I write something on it, I want to do one last thing. I'm going to take my piercer.
I like color though, because light color will work on it.
Okay, a light color. I like the way you're thinking, girlfriend.
Because that time when I do black, I did black on like that, but on my pineapple one.
Mm-hmm.
And I said didn't even see nothing. I saw pick back, but I saw like that say, so I did that say.
Mm-hmm.
My pen was Lila's name.
Aww. Okay, this is the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. They are in our annual catalog, and so I just used the Night of Navy jewels that match this Night of Navy cardstock. Okay, now we're going to move on to the magical part. You want to watch me do magic, Ellie?
Yeah. So,
Okay, I'm just taking a piece of washi. This is old, retired Stampin' Up! Washi, nothing fancy.
look how many pretty
I have,
like, polka dot and a gay.
Yeah, it is pretty. I have here, it's a 5 1/4 by 1 1/2 inch strip, and I'm going to go ahead and put it down here on my grid paper because it's going to help us measure something. Okay, so I have the Playful alphabet dies. They come like this. It has all kinds of dies. It even has some symbols, quotation marks, exclamation points, like that. Really super cute. This is actually can be purchased as part of the bundle with the Playful the pattern play bundle. So these two come together. You do save 10% by purchasing them together. But there's actually an entire suite. It's called a pattern play suite. So it comes with paper, dies, the stamp set, maybe an embellishment. I honestly can't remember everything that comes in that suite right now. But we are going to take the letters that spell thanks. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to use the bottom of my linen thread here because that's what's going to help me. And I'm going to measure like 1 1/2 squares up into that. It's kind of eyeballing it. Okay, I'm going to start with my S on this side over here. And put my T over here because I want them to be kind of centered up. And I'm still using my grid paper to help me center these. So I'm doing like 2 squares in from both sides. That way it doesn't look too off. Thank. I have to spell it out, guys. The H goes, and there is enough space in here where it doesn't look too awkward. And the reason I'm using this is because it's just helping me make sure that I can butt up all these letters at the bottom of it, and it keeps them straight. So, okay, I'm gonna do that. Take this washi, and I'm just gonna run it across the whole thing. And that's just gonna hold it in place when we run it through the die cut machine because we don't want it to get crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna move this stuff aside. I'm gonna take my Big Shot, bring it over here, and we'll run it through. So here we go. Okay, so I've got it here. I'm making my little sandwich, my little plate sandwich. And I'm just gonna run it through here. Are you guys shaking too much? I got that new little table phone stand, and it connects to the table, and I feel like it's making the phone shake a whole lot because I use my phone to record. And I thought this little setup might help make things easier, but I feel like it's shaking, and I don't want to make you guys like sick or anything with all the motion. Okay, and then I'm just going to carefully pull back this washi, which is going to bring, sometimes the letters will come with it, and sometimes the tape will have cut. See, like it cut, and now we're done. So I'm just going to be careful about it because I don't want to rip anything. The washi really shouldn't rip anything, but I find that anytime I'm like overly aggressive with washi, it doesn't perform the way it's supposed to. Okay. So there are little pieces stuck in here which I take my take your pick tool, and you can just like poke them out. Like there's the T, and let's see, I don't know where the other words went. Or not words, they're letters, guys. I don't know where the other letters went. So I could totally take these letters and use them. Where did they go? Oh, they're still on the plate. Okay, I was so confused for a second. Okay, so I could totally take these and, you know, make another project using these cute little letters. I might do that. I probably won't, but, you know, it's just another way of using this die cut. So I'm going to put those up there. I just, for the purposes of this project, I really like the negative space, so that's what we're using. We're using the negative. I think that the negative can sometimes be just as fun and really pretty. Okay, so I'm bringing this card back over here, and I'm going to take, see the washi, like, sometimes when you get crazy, that washi, it gets crazy with ya. Okay, so I'm taking this. Obviously, there's a front and a back. I want it to read thanks, not thanks, or whatever that says. I want it to read thanks. So I'm going to make sure that it's facing the right way. And I'm going to flip it upside down. And I'm just going to use liquid glue. I tried making this card using my Stamp and Seal because that is my preferred adhesive. And I find the Stamp and Seal to be the easiest to work with. But the Stamp and Seal wasn't able to get into these little spaces here because it's the width doesn't coincide with this small space over here. So I'm just putting some, and I'm probably being way too generous with this adhesive because on this liquid glue, a little bit does go a long way. You know what? I want to put some here on my end, just little dots, because I want this. Okay, that was like extra generous. Okay, like so. And I'm gonna turn it sideways. My brain works better when things are sideways. And just lining it up here. There is a little bit of give when you're working with this adhesive. It doesn't, you know, it lets you shift it just a little bit. But even with that, it does dry really quickly. So you don't want to do too much finagling with it. Okay. And it seeped out a little bit because I was so generous with it. But that's okay because it's going to dry clear. But even then, I'm still going to try to pick up just a little bit because I don't want any like weird glue bumps. Okay. So that's that. Okay. That's it, sort of. I also have this Wink of Stella brush. I love the Wink of Stella. I think it adds the perfect detail to some projects. Wink of Stella, it's not glitter. I mean, it is definitely shiny, but it's not glitter in the traditional sense that we think of glitter. And it's just a little like brush tip here. And I'm just gonna brush it on inside these letters. I'm just going to do like small strokes and circles to really saturate the inside of these letters here. So what I like about Wink of Stella, and I hope you can see on camera in a second, I'll show you, is that it's just a little touch of glitter. It almost looks like a starry night versus, you know, like bam, I put glitter on my project. So yeah, I really like it. And it's really simple to, as you can see, I'm just kind of painting it in. So I'm gonna like shimmer it a little bit and hopefully you guys can catch that on camera. It's not anything super eye-pulling, but it's definitely subtle. It adds a little something. It almost gives the inside of these letters just some texture, which I think helps because all of this card is flat. Aside from the rhinestones, there really is no dimension or texture here. So I really like that the Wink of Stella kind of adds just that little bit of texture to these letters. So I'm just gonna go ahead and paint in the rest. I think my Wink of Stella is running out. That's why I'm having to like paint really slow. I do have another one, but I want to use this one up completely before I retire it. Are you guys like that with your tools and projects? Like you have to get every last drop. Okay. All right, that's it. That's my card. So isn't this super fun? I know it's like different because there was no stamping involved, but I think it's fun. It's fun to try new techniques. I really like using the negative of these letters, and then you flip to the inside and you have just this little coordinating strip of paper piecing. Just super fun, super cute. Thank you guys for watching today. I will be back on Friday. I actually have kind of a big announcement for you on Friday. If you guys are part of my VIPs and in my VIP group, then you know that I am planning something big for our mini catalog launching August 4th. I will announce all the details of that to everybody on Friday. So make sure you join me here live at 10 a.m. Friday. And until then, I hope you have a good week. Thanks for watching. Bye.